Hi, everybody. My name is Kevin Keegan. I'm the General Manager of Oncology at Illumina, and I'm very excited to be interviewing Zach Boyd here today. Zach is the Head of Diagnostics and Precision Medicine at Janssen. We're very excited in two ways. One, Zach is one of the experts, the world experts in precision medicine and pharma. And the pharma audience is a really important group that we want to address in the Illumina Genomics Forum. But also, Zach represents a very important pharmaceutical partnership with Illumina. We're working together on an oncology partnership now, and it could even expand in a broader set of clinical areas, and Zach represents beyond oncology. So Zach, I just want to welcome you here and maybe add a few thoughts just about your background and how you lead and the group that you lead at Janssen.
So at Janssen, we are focused on the patient. And to that end, we need to understand the details of the disease. We need to have broad profiling capabilities and partners like Illumina to help us understand the underlying and actionable biomarkers within a disease so we can there provide targeted therapy solutions for disease interception.
That's great. And the panel yesterday was talking about some of the things that we have to overcome in terms of enabling better access for precision medicine. As a leader in precision medicine and pharma, one of the top pharma companies in the world, how do you think about overcoming barriers in terms of providing better access to targeted therapy in areas like oncology but beyond?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we have to get testing to the patient. I think there has to be access, there has to be scale, there has to be the capability to provide broad profiling and data for the patient. On balance, we have to have the right infrastructure and ability to capture the data, analyze it, and bring it directly back to a simple decision-informing opportunity with a healthcare provider.
Yeah, I totally get that. So, when we think about our technology platform and the oncology applications that we work with you on, are there things that we can do as a genomics technology provider, a clinical oncology diagnostic provider?
Yeah, I think there's a number of opportunities there. I think throughput and turnaround are key. I think ensuring that we're able to get the data to an actionable state and that we can inform a decision for a healthcare provider is fundamentally our joint responsibility as a therapeutic developer and as a technology developer such as Illumina.
Do you see that a lot in terms of your pharma, approach? And how can we, as a diagnostic or genomics company, partner to create that movement in the market or to create that with clinicians and with patients?
Yeah, I see it as fundamentally precision medicine is the intersection of diagnostic technology and transformative therapeutics. So to bring those together, I think we have to understand what each of us can bring. I think in order, we have to deliver the type of therapies that can provide the right type of disease intervention that the patients need. And then we need the right technology to provide us the broad scale and deep genomic profiling that allows us to identify the targets, and then have analytics platforms that allow us to come back to scalable and transferable decision-making outputs.
That's great. Is there something, we oftentimes talk to you about large panel or comprehensive genomic profiling in cancer. If you think about an area like lung cancer, they have an EGFR mutation. You can technically detect an EGFR mutation with a single gene test. How do you think about comprehensive tumor profiling in the context of the broader sort of cancer continuum today?
Yeah, I see it as an element of patient centricity. It's our obligation, and frankly, as an example, in clinical studies, it's our sponsor stewardship to ensure that we're maximizing the amount of data that can be obtained from samples and specimens that are provided to us through clinical trials. And so broad-scale genomic profiling provides us that opportunity.
And when you think about, in your approaches with precision medicine, do you oftentimes think about, there's an emergence of new biomarkers that are pan-cancer type of applications. Are you thinking into the future, thinking about new drugs and the actionable biomarkers that could drive toward pan-cancer applications?
We are. And I think in order to achieve that, we have to have the data. And so I think having standard approaches that are broad scale and comprehensive across Every patient that gets enrolled on a Janssen study affords us the opportunity to identify more broadly actionable targets for our therapeutics.
So just shift gears just a little bit. And obviously, I'm very interested in the work with you in oncology, but you have a broader scope beyond oncology. Can you talk about a little bit about your precision medicine work in other clinical areas?
Yeah, I think it's forming, and I think the opportunity is there. Largely, I think oncology has allowed us to really develop proof of concept around the opportunities of identifying targeted therapies against actionable biomarkers. That approach will extend well beyond oncology, I think, but it takes the data, it takes the comprehensive view of fundamental disease understanding to allow us then to apply and identify targeted therapies for actionable biomarkers.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm going to go back to yesterday's panel discussion. Folks like Dr. Topol and Dr. Wolgamuth both talked about implementation at scale or the utilization of large data sets and randomized controlled trials. How can companies like Janssen and Illumina together can tackle those types of things in scale? And you've seen some of our technology roadmap views. How do you see that evolving over time in terms of utilizing that technology to create broader data and to scale that sort of methodology?
I think the opportunity that we can do together is actually demonstrate and identify the clinical utility of taking these broad scale approaches. I think that will actually help to shape and translate eventually into clinical practice. We have to address on a number of fronts too. We have to look and to make sure that that practice is ready to accept that. I think we can make decision making and informed decision making in a simplistic way while still driving towards comprehensive genomic data that allows us then to transfer into simple, actionable decisions.
Great. I'm going to do a quick lightning round with you, okay?
Fair enough.
I'm going to say a term and then you just fill in the blanks. Precision medicine is?
Data-driven clinical care.
Love it. Janssen's future in targeted therapy?
Right.
Right. I love it. That's awesome. If you could wave a magic wand, given what you've heard with genomics technology and this, we use the term the genome era is now or is here. How does that thinking influence your future pipeline and research work at Janssen, especially in the oncology space?
Yeah, I see it as the genomic era is here for research and development. So, in development of our pipeline, development of future therapeutics, we have many tools and partnerships, such as with Illumina, to implement now. And I think we're generating those data now. Where I see the need for future is to understand how to translate that into clinical practice and through registration. I think we have to understand what are the needs. The technology is leading the way. How can we be scientists? How can we follow the data and advocate and drive the right clinical practice based on what we're doing in research and development now?
Very well said. Last question. Janssen and Illumina together in the market, influencing cancer care.
I see it as partners. I think comes back to the definition of precision medicine, which is ultimately data-driven clinical practice. It's targeted therapies coming together with actionable diagnostic data that'll allow us, and together allows us to shape the future of clinical practice and ultimately drive better healthcare solutions for patients.
What a great closing statement. Huge thank you, Zach Boyd, the head of diagnostics and precision medicine at Janssen, a great partner for us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Kevin.